She started the stream with the big burpee, huh?
Yeah.
Blip. That's great. Good job, honey. Good job. Alright, we are live. Let's make sure that I can see the chats and let everybody know that we're live. Hey, come join us on YouTube. The best platform for... I've got Mixer going, but it's a broken mess, basically. All of my streams have the same name because it doesn't update the changes. So yeah, you can follow me on Mixer, but I don't know. So, follow me on a sub... Like, I don't want to... I want it to succeed and be a competitor, right? I want it to do well. Yeah. But I can't in good conscience say, Mixer's good, because it's not. It sucks right now. Yeah. Hopefully, things will change over the next year. We'll see. I'm going to try to get 2,000 followers on Mixer, but if it happens, it happens, and if not, oh well. Skull, how are you doing? Black Ruby Raven, what's up, what's up? We're going to be working on Legend of Driftwood. I went through a little bit off camera yesterday and the day before, and went through and did the sound testing so that I know that all of the music is actually where it should be, and so that when we play it, there should be no problems with music playing. And I changed some music around, some boss fights, ending credits. Some maps that didn't have music assigned now has music assigned. Oh, excuse me. The Great King Boo. Back to control our minds again. Again, King Boo. Great King Boo, sorry. How many times are you going to control my mind?
72.
42. Hey, Docweez. How you doing? Okay, so what I wanted to do before I do the update is have a few extra boss fights. So we've got all of our storyline bosses, and now I want to start designing arena bosses. What was the last creature we created? It was Cain. It was the last boss. Current last boss. But before that, were there any regular enemies that I didn't add to... the arena? Which I think I've added all of them to the arena by now. You're listening to Spinal theme from Killer Instinct. I had no idea Spinal was a Viking undead god. Well, that's cool. What is everybody else listening to? I was listening to this, it was a lo-fi Final Fantasy soundtrack, but it was like mixed in a hip-hop style, and it sounded really cool. About a minute into it, it sounds like the person says, drifty, drifty, drifty. I'm like, what? What's going on? But the sample is probably saying something different. Okay, so I think the Temptress is added to the arena system. So let's start making boss fights. Now, I'm going to try to be creative, and a creative way to pump out a lot of boss fights. What would be a simple way to make boss fights? Taking the same enemy, and then buffing stats, buffing drop rates, something like that, buffing stats. Maybe change the system so that you need a different token to battle the bosses. Nah, forget that, because it's unnecessary. I don't need to make a whole other currency for that or whatever. Just use the ones that we already have. So I would like a boss for every creature, but that's obviously not going to be good. To custom handcraft every creature that I make as a boss version, unless I figure out some method that makes it easy. Copy, paste, change this, that, this, come up with a system, a method to turn every boss fight or every creature into its own boss fight and add that to the arena. And I guess we would require that you capture 10 of the same creature to encounter the boss version of it. You know what we could do is, well then what would be different than capturing? Oh, well, anyway, let me explain what I was thinking. I was thinking of making it so that we set the level specifically for the boss, so the boss will never get stronger or weaker, no matter depending on your level or anything. The boss will always be a set level, regardless. I think that might work, but then at certain levels it'll be too strong. Certain levels it'll be too easy. It won't like kind of lend itself into the same patterns that we were used to. What if I just multiply the stats of each creature by adding a 0 at the end of it and calling that a boss version? It's bound to break. It's bound to be broken, right? It's bound to just be a broken mess. And also, what would be the point of each boss? Do we need one for each so that they give each give a different item? And that's a lot of different items I have to come up with and to make them unique in some way. Maybe make some monsters that are hybrids of 2 to 4 monsters. I like that idea, Doc. Hey, Waffles, how are you doing? I like that idea, Doc. So, like, maybe so that we only get a boss for every 2 creatures, or every 3 creatures, or every 4 creatures. That'll limit the number of bosses that I have to put in the game. I kind of like that. But at the same time, that might be more work if I can come up with some simple system. Pixel Eric, oh my god, you made it. What's up, dude? You have a horrible foot infection? That sounds terrible. It sounds like something ain't nobody got time for. So if I do make these guys a 10x version of the standard one for the boss fight, I went with that for the Wildebeest. And it didn't quite work out exactly like I wanted, so I don't think that it's going to work out. But I want some, I'm going to try some method that will maybe make this process a little bit streamlined. Because I don't want to sit here and create, it'll take me an hour to make like a good boss fight with all of the stuff, custom skills, custom animations. I could fast track it and come up with some pattern to pump out a bunch of bosses. But then we're going to have imbalancing. We're going to have to do a lot of balancing passes. And in the long run, I'm trying to get this update done. Failed Dodo Assassins. Okay, let's just do something. Let's copy the Uruk. Let's go down to where we have the arena. How much room do I want to allocate for creatures? Maybe double what I currently have. So 20 more. 171. Let's just go to 271. We're going to go, this is going to be Arena Boss. So 271. 171 is where the Uruk starts. So we can do Urukai. I like the Fel Dodo Assassin. Sounds kind of epic. The dodo assassin. It sounds oxymoronic. Let's do this, this, this. Come on. This. This sounds like a disaster. But then locking their level at 50? I mean, eventually the players can outgrow them. So if we do the same thing where they've got super stats, and the bosses will also give gold instead of tokens. They're just 10x versions of themselves. Same drop rates. We'll adjust that later. Sewer jelly. And that's the next thing. So 272. We'll call it the Uber jelly. This is the template I'm going to go with. Sewer rat. We're going to call it the Uber rat. Uber bad. We're going to lock their level. They're going to be locked at level 50. Did I allow the fly trap to be captured? I think so. Jungle fly trap. Wait. Yep. The Uber fly trap. No, this brute force way of making these bosses is not going to be balanced. It's going to take a lot of passes and changing of things to make it work. But I have to try something. It's just a system that I've tried. I've scrapped some systems. Like you can see this. I don't use these right here. You know, you gotta try to do something. Even if you think it might fail, like maybe I'll learn something in the process. I mean, I think I could make this system work, but I'll have to tweak some numbers, I'm sure. But I'm going to go with the baseline 10x everything, so everything is like on par to 10x its base value, which has been changed quite a few times until like now I'm happy with the numbers for most of these things. So 10xing them is not going to necessarily make them 10 times as hard. It might make them 50 times as hard. But we're also going to lock their level. At a certain point, they're not going to scale with the party anymore. I mean, well, they're never going to scale with the party. They're going to be a set strength, and then that's all they're going to be. Like, their power level will stay the same no matter what level the party is. So it's an achievable goal. It's just very hard because the party would probably have to be much higher than level 50. So start doing this with a party level of 60, and their numbers won't be as bad as... if you focus on nerfing multi-hits, DOTs, and regen, it should balance out. Yeah. That's another thing to focus on, is if since DOTs are stat-based, these stats are going to be very high. Have you ever considered using a reoccurring boss as Anthony Browning? That's a great idea. I think back to, like, Atomos. Or what's his name? Chupon? Ultros. Not Atomos. Ultros, that, in Final Fantasy VI, that squid. Oh no, is he a squid? I think he's a squid. Or an octopus. That just keeps coming back. I have considered that. I like that idea. I just haven't put it in. I haven't been clever enough with the storyline as far as, like, for that. I didn't have that in mind going throughout the storyline, but I like that that idea of, like, having a rival or a reoccurring boss that constantly gets stronger as you encounter him or her or it. Uber Beast. This is it. Uber Hornet. I mean, there's obviously going to have to be some sort of item award change for the boss versions, which we'll get into. One thing at a time. We'll get them all in the database with appropriate stats and a new name. Then we'll put the note tags to lock them at level 50. And then we'll put in other note tags to allow for item-specific drops. Maybe 2 things. Maybe a common, or maybe 3 new ones for each boss. A common, an uncommon, and a rare for each Uber boss. And I think that might work, like a 1%, a 10%, and a guaranteed for each boss. Which one was this one? The Hornet. Okay. Did I allow the toxic sludge to be caught in the arena? Nope, I did not. Bandits either. Cave trolls I did, though. So we'll copy cave trolls. This will be an Uber troll. Oh. Don't tease the octopus kids. Right, well, I'm not going to use these bosses for the story, Anthony Browning. These bosses are not going to be in the story at all. In fact, they're all optional. You don't have to beat these. They are part of the arena system. So you capture 10 creatures of the same type, and in the arena you can fight that regular creature, or you can fight the boss version after you capture 10. If you capture, for each one you capture, you fight that creature with a level requirement, or a level bonus of 3 times its number of captured creatures, with a variance of -2 to +1. So, an example, if you caught one creature, you can fight that creature in the arena and it will be level 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you capture 2 of them, well then it'll be 2 times 3, which is 6 with the variance of -2 and +1. So it will be a 4, 5, 6, 7. And so forth and so on with infinite number of captures up until as hard as you want to fight that creature. But if you capture 10 or more, then it will unlock the Uber version of that creature. And maybe we'll have combinations that Doc mentioned, where if you have 10 rats and 10 bats, you have the flying rat boss or something. I don't know, or the assassin dodo assassin. Failed dodo assassin. But essentially, I'm just doing some data entry right now. So we are at the troll. Keep it moving. Soldiers and necromancers and elite assassins you can't capture, but rock turtles I think you can. Yep, cave troll and then a rock turtle. So we'll go ahead and do that. And let's give him the Uber stats. These numbers are not final. These are an approximate of 10x their base value. I don't think you can capture hauntlings. I think maybe climber frogs you could, though. Yep. Oh, werewolf. I let you capture werewolves? Okay. Apparently I did. Sure, why not? That's going to be a mean fight. It's a ton of attack. Hey, DVD. Dr. Vile. How are your guys' projects? Docweez, or Black Ruby Raven says to Docweez, I have to redesign my entire fusion system. Found a bug, I'm trying to fix it, I broke it completely. That sounds interesting, Black Ruby Raven. Tell me more about your fusion system. Is that like you put two monsters together and make a new creature, or you put two items together and make a new item? What's up, Flight Gaming? Will the Uber bosses look the same as regular bosses mobs? Just the stats change? No, I want them to look different too. I'll use Scale Sprite and change theirs so they're bigger. Also, I'll change the color on them a little bit. And maybe make a special move for each of them, but I don't want to go too overboard with customizing all of them at this update. Maybe the next update will be making them all more customized. I just want the functionality to be in the game at this point. I think 90% of the players won't get to these bosses, and that's why I'm not going to focus too much on them, but I need them to be there for those people. This project will be like sent out in big updates. And I know I've said it for 2-3 weeks now, but it is almost done. Like, potentially today I can deploy this and upload it, but maybe not. I don't know for sure. Okay, that's Ice Bat. Death Dog. Uber Dodos will just one-shot the whole party most of the time, I bet. Because they're going to have like an Aqua Breath move with 800 magic attack. Plus, however they scaled. Just be like super end game. These creatures are just not... They will be beatable, but like 90% of the people, 95% of the people won't even see them. Super chat from Locksmith. Hey Driftwood, thanks for all you do and all the help. Have a cup on me. Thank you so much, Locksmith. I really appreciate that. Let me click the accept button. Yeah, appreciate that. Cool, man. You too. I hope you're having a good day. Let's copy this one, the Spectre. Bring that down. Uber Spectre. I can use a plugin to make this go past 1,000 in stats if I need to. I shouldn't need to though. I think that'll be the roof. The roof. We got one more here. 291. This should be 191, 291. Yep. This is an Uber Temptress. And she will have 999. 999. There we go. We've hit the roof. So Black Ruby Raven says about his fusion system, it's like Shadow Hearts, which I don't remember. Is that like Kingdom Hearts or something? I don't remember what that is. The main character can change into 4 different forms. You collect souls from monsters to unlock and power up your fusions. So they're just like skills. Fusions are just like powered up skills. I was thinking of more like Pokemon fusion type thing. Or even item fusion. Hey Epic Mighty in a Cloud, making the biggest update that ever created. Well, if you compare the version of this game 1.2 or 3 or whatever it was to this 1.6, then it's a huge update. I'm not even writing down all the things I'm doing anymore. Added several new bosses for hard mode arena fights. More balancing will happen in the next update for those super duper hard bosses. Yeah, so forth and so on. Alright, so we've got them all entered. Let's change their size a little bit. So we're scaling the sprite of this one to 60%. Let's make it 20%. Let's make everything 25% bigger. So that's 85%. This one is scaled to 115, so we'll make it 140. This one is scaled here, we'll go 135. This one is right there, so let's make that 90. This one is scaled here, let's make it 140. This one is that, it's 155. 135. Scale this one to 90. 140. This one was just perfect. Oh no, it wasn't. 95. Uber Frog, so let's scale that to 90. 105. 90. 95. 95. 85. 85. 90. Nope, that's 100. Essentially, we could remove that tag, but that's fine, we'll leave it. Same thing here, 100. We weren't scaling this one, so let's do a scale, sprite, 125%, so she's a much bigger temptress. Alright, so let's add the next note tag. From which plugin is the scaling from? Yeah, it is Yanfly's animated SV enemies, I believe. Let's just go to the plugin help. Double check that. Breathing, floating, scale, sprite, yep. It is an extension to the Battle Engine core, so you need core engine, Battle Engine core, yep, X animated SV enemies, and you got it. We need to do another thing. We need to mess with our enemy levels plugin and put some specific note tags to lock them at a specific level, otherwise they'll never be beatable. Because they'll get too strong as you level up, they'll also level up faster. Or I don't know. At some point there's a tipping point at some stat number where enemies will just, every level they get more of a lead on you unless you upgrade your gear proportionately. But we can fix that. For when they're too high, we can lock them. So the enemy levels, we have a way of doing that. We can put a minimum and a maximum, or we can just put a static level. This sets the enemy starting level to this exactly. It will cause the enemy upon the start of the battle to adjust levels within this particular range. Any skills that alter enemy levels are able to bypass these limits unless if it were to bypass the maximum cap. So we just set them to a static level, which is essentially the same thing of putting a minimum and a maximum of the same number, I'd imagine. And we give no fluctuation as well. So we're going to give level fluctuation 0. So we go like this. Static level 50, level fluctuation 0. I'm going to have to double check the spelling on that. Level fluct. Okay, so instead of X, it's CT-uation. Fluctuation. Static level 50, level fluctuation of 0. So they will always be level 50. Let's put that at the bottom of all of these now. And make sure no other level no tags are present to cause a confliction somewhere. Any conflicting errors. So all of these Uber bosses are locked to level 50. So you should be around level 30 maybe at the last boss. So, like I said, 95% of the people won't even mess with these bosses. But they are going to be in there as a placeholder with some reward, because the way that the system is set up, the skill, the level cap, the stat cap slash the ceiling is extremely high. As far as how strong your characters can get if you were to just keep playing and doing stuff. They can become immensely strong. So, these guys, which are locked at level 50, which seem impossible at any reasonable level, will quickly become easy to beat, and the only thing worth fighting at that high level. So, by putting this in there, catering to the 5 or 10% of your people, of your players, you're adding a huge, playtime to those who want to get more out of it. And since I don't plan to push another update for at least 3 months, probably 6 months, I want there to be something substantial in here. So I'm going to put out, I don't know, should we deploy it? I feel like we're at the point where we should deploy it very soon. Not right now, because I haven't added these enemies to troops, but very soon. Okay, so what else needs to happen before I can deploy this? Start letting everybody play it. So we're starting at 201. So what if we just go to 301, change maximum troops to 400, and then we take the same kind of process from 201, and we go to 301. This is arena boss. 1 Urukai. Boom. I won't need to put in parentheses arena because they pretty much all say Uber on them, so that can identify them. I feel like that'll be fine. I also feel like I should change the battle music when the player selects to fight a boss, so it doesn't have the same music. I might need to move these around because some of them are bigger and they may not look like they're... I don't want them to look like any of them are standing in the air, but I also don't want them to be covered up by a text box. So I'm dragging them to the centermost area. The bats can be a little bit higher because flying creatures can be in the air. It doesn't look bad. also, I want to change their colors. So let's go and change their hue a little bit. Might even just 180 everything to keep a consistency going. So let's go to the enemies. Go here, and if it's right here, just go like this. Approximate, I guess. Just so that they look different. There we go. Hey, baby. My lovely wife, T, joined the chat. So you are jacking enemies? Yeah, I'm juicing them. I'm taking the enemies I already created, copy-pasting them, multiplying their stats, changing their size and their color, and juicing them up. And locking them at a specific level. So they are this strength. They don't change no matter what... no matter what your strength is, they don't change. But I do want to get a sense for how they feel if the party is at level 50. How could I do this really well? I know what I can do. Let me go to... Let me zoom in. Go over here. Arena's going to be up here. Let me make a little event right here. It's just going to be, it doesn't matter, really. Make it this person. You talk to this person, they're going to change your experience. They're going to give the entire party 100,000 experience. We're not going to show the levels up, though. We're not going to... And I can manually adjust the variables so that it shows I've caught 10 of these. But they won't show in the arena yet, because I haven't told them to do that. I haven't coded that in yet, so let's just put that in. Let's go to our arena system. And when we have the option to select mega bosses, instead of just rewarding battle arenas, or arena emblem tokens for returning to the menu, we need to do one of these again. We're essentially going to copy paste this entire thing. For each choice, where's it at? Here it is. So when we are given the option to fight mega bosses, we have to do some changing of events. So let's go like this. Paste all of this in here. And what we're going to do is change this and say, if you have less than 10, instead of 0, we're going to use 10. You need to capture 1 to fight them in the arena. You need to capture 10 to fight the boss in the arena. which would let you fight the boss. I mean, you would be fighting a regular creature at level 30, approximately, because 10 times 3 is 30, and that's how I've set it up. The level of the creature that you fight, if you capture 10 of them, is 30, but you have the option to fight the creature at level 30, or the boss at level 50. Uber Temptress, are you Driftwood? Are you going to Taco Bell at Times Square, right? I'm Uber driver. I don't even know what's happening in the chat right now. Uber driver, that's pretty good. So now we've hit our choices. We're not going to allow a cancel at this point. They have to pick something, because a cancel would hide the choices for the regular enemies. So if you select, just because of the way that it's set up, I shouldn't have put it all in one, but I did, so I'm going to deal with it. If you select mega bosses, you actually have to go to the bottom and say, never mind. And then it takes you out of the menu. So let's go like that, show choices. We'll put in all the names. So we're going to say default choice 1, cancel, disallow. Cancel is disallow. You cannot not pick something. You have to pick something. And now what I need is a list of all of the things. We'll just do this for now. Copy this, paste this, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Copy this, paste it again. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Actually, all of these will say none. Default none. But the first one will say default 1. Default 1, none, none, none. Disallow on all of these. We have another one actually, so let's go here. 19, 20, 21. I think that was it. 21 for now. And then none. And then leave this blank and that blank. So how many choices are we blocking out? 21 choices. So actually 21 would be none. Unless I forgot something. Let me double check. So we only have 21 here. I'm going to cancel, end. One, 2, 3, 4 is none. So 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, we're not hiding choice 22 because that's the escape. So we need 22. We need a 22nd option. 6, 18. So this is 21, and then 22, our 22nd option, will say none. I numbered them to help me visualize it. And then when they say none, we give this back. And since we've hid the choices, and in order to show the choices, the event has to read through, which means we would have to not allow to cancel, because then we'll be back at the top showing regular monsters, but it would have already hid all the choices, even if they've captured one, because we didn't show them and then hide them here. Which I can do, but I want to see if just saying disallow cancel when you select Mega Monsters, if that makes it the other way around. And if so, I don't have to copy paste this part at the top of each of Mega Monsters and regular monsters and whatever else. Otherwise, I just allow cancel and copy paste these plugin commands up here, but I'd rather not just copy paste blocks of plugin commands if I don't have to. So we're going to try that. Now, it would be probably smart of me to go to my enemies and just take a picture. I'm going to go like this. Boom. All of these. Just a block of text. That's all I need. And I'm going to open up Discord, and then I guess in default, ignore this info. It's for my use as a memo, as a notepad. Thanks. Boom, boom. And now I have this over here. I can click on it. So I can go to my common events, go down to where I start the numbers, and I don't have to memorize or write anything down. Oh, I pressed Windows key, Shift, and S to do that. Take a quick picture of it. And I'll just start here with naming them. Oops. Uru Kai. Next is Uber Jelly. Uber Rat. Uber Bat. Uber Flytrap. Uber Driver. Uber E-Beast. And that's 6. Okay, and then we go here. And then we go to Uber Hornet. Uber Troll. Uber Turtle. Uber Shroom. Uber Frog. And then Uber Werewolf. And then here we go. Uber Firebat. Uber Piranha. Uber Iceworm. Uber Moth. Uber Ice Bat. Uber Dog. Dog. Okay. Choice 19 is Uber Dodo. Uber Spectre. Uber Spectre, Uber Tetris. And none. Okay. We've got them named. Now we need to insert what happens. It will only show the choice for each of these if they have 10 of them captured. But if they do, and then they select it, we have to say what's going to happen. Did I already make the troops for the bosses? I did, starting at 300. Alright. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, back to the common events. Let's copy paste a block of right here. We don't need to adjust the mod, the level mod. So, but let's take the whole block and then copy it and put it in here. So hide the choice unless they've got 10 of those, yada yada yada. Now choice 1. For Urukai. We don't need to adjust a mod. We're not going to be battling the arena temptress here, so we'll change that to the bottom of 300. This is the Urukai. Can't escape, can lose, yeah, because we don't want to GG for these. How did you select the entire block? What do you mean? Oh, of code inside the common event flight gaming. I left clicked on something, I held the shift key, and then I left clicked at another location, and that tells the interpreter to select everything in between the clicks. So if I want to take the entire show choices, I can click on that. But if I don't want the whole show choices, I just want what's inside of a show choice, I'll take the first thing, which is a show animation, with the left click, and I'll hold the shift button and then left click at the bottom. And it'll take that code. I press Control C or right click copy, and then Control V to paste or right click paste. You can also Control X to cut. Has all that stuff built into it. We're not going to award any arena tokens for beating the bosses, because we're going to give, I guess, gold in some other item, probably. Yeah, some other item. So that means we can get rid of this, and we can get rid of this notification. But if they win, they get a sparkle. And I guess we'll make it so that whatever they get is awarded in the battle itself, the aftermath of the battle. So we'll do extra enemy drops plugin from Yanfly, which we already have in, we're using. We'll just, to make this simple, we pretty much got it set up. All we're doing is showing an animation, starting a battle, and then letting the player win, lose, or escape. And when they win, they get a sparkly effect. That's easy. Copy this, paste this for the jelly. We just changed the battle, we just scroll it down one. Easy. Copy paste this for the rat. Boom. Scroll it down one. Copy paste this for the bat. This one's a fly trap. Let me just do for the Uber Beast. For the Hornet. The Troll. The Turtle. The Shroom. The Frog. I see one little typo, which is not a big deal. I won't change it, but I'm just gonna Uber space frog. Okay. Here's for the fire bat. One for the piranha. The purina. For the ice worm, moth, ice bat, and we're going to have the whole thing done. It's the skeleton of the system. Sometimes I get a lot done, sometimes I don't get very much done. It just depends on how inspired I am, and like if I think an idea will work or not. And sometimes even if I'm not 100%, if it will work, kind of just try it anyway, because what if it does? what if it do? You know, most people don't think it be like it is, but it do. Okay. And then at the end of the event, no matter what, blah, 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 it should show all the choices again. We could still have some big bugs. Giuseppe Linguini, how are you doing? How's the update progress going? Very well. We're almost done. I've said that for a long time now. But I promise, we're almost done. We're going to deploy maybe tonight. Let's mess around with this little system we got here. Let's continue. Let's use my controller. Let's continue this save. We're like about level 30. We got here mostly fairly. This is when we get the other party members back. Formation. Yeah, so we get our party members back. We're going to walk our way out of this cave. I need to add a few other collectibles in here. You did, Giuseppe. Today is probably the day I'm going to re-release this game. Oh, I need to change that, move that chest out of here. Ooh, I better do that right now. I almost forgot about that. Would have borked everything. I can't release it today. I have to play through the whole thing again. That would have messed up a lot of stuff. Letting the player do that. Speedrunners would be like, ha! I can beat this, no problem. Right here. Because of this, the skull key you get at the end of the game, basically, but you can get it, like, really, really early. This was supposed to be so that I can get past the gate and test it. But that's not supposed to be there at all, and now it's not. Okay. I might put it out tonight. I might. I want it to be done already, like, but I also don't want it... I'm not trying to rush it out. I mean, I'm trying to make it... I'm trying to finish it in good time. But I've been working on it for 4 months now, you know, after its release, which it's basically I've been looking at it every so often ever since I've made it. So we're going to be fighting monsters that's supposed to be level 50. So we're going to fight them at level 30. I'm actually going to save it right here first. Okay, let's save it. We're going to fight them. Let's get a heal. At level 30 and completely die and get owned. But then, I also want to just test the way it looks. Okay, yada yada. Fight regular monsters. These are the only things that we've actually captured. Mega bosses. We have caught 10 Uber ice worms, so that's there, and that's why it only shows that one. But let's go for that one then. I mean, we're just going to die. No, there's no chance, really, that we have to beat this thing. I feel like the bosses need some special moves, and I think on the next on the next time I make a pass on this game and do big updates, it will be on beefing these and customizing these creatures up a lot. Yeah, okay, that's about what I expected. Let's retreat. We're allowed to retreat in the arena and get a full heal. No problems, but we did lose our 100 gold. Big deal. Okay, let's go get 100 grand experience and see what level we are. We're level 45 now. This bug is thick. Let's make sure that he's level 50 instead of level whatever. Fight the mega boss. He should be level 50, exactly. I didn't even check, but I need to check that. He's level 30. So for some reason what's happening is the map enemy levels plugin is overwriting the static level note tag. Why is that happening? Okay. Hold on, let me just close this. So in that arena, if you look at the map properties, you see right here I'm using enemy level base variable 40. Now this doesn't look like much, but what this does, it makes it so that every enemy that you fight on this map is going to use this variable to determine its level. Now, from my understanding, when you use a note tag that says static level, it doesn't affect, like this note tag on the map shouldn't affect it. But apparently it is. But there are some other note tags I can try. I could also move the battles to another map, but I don't want to do that unless I have to. Here we go. Enemy map enemy levels is a great plugin from Yenfly, one of his newest ones, and I highly recommend it. But you know, it depends on this plugin, which can be game breaking or game saving depending on how you use it. Let's look at the thing that's overriding it. So, okay, what does it say? You can set a base level for all enemies encountered while on this map, or a base level range. Insert the following note tags into your map's note box to set the desired enemy level. Right, and we're using the variable so that I can change. But I was hoping that these note tags would overwrite the variable change. Because you could always take the note tags out if you want the variable on the map to do its thing. We made it so that it doesn't fluctuate at all. That one is still working because it was exactly 30. But the static level let's try to use minimum and maximum instead. And if this does not work, I will just, I guess, teleport the player to a blank map, start the fight, teleport the player back, because that's something we can do. It's not a big deal. However, it's another step that I may not want to do if I can just eliminate that with note tags. So static level doesn't overwrite map enemy level, we've learned this. Let's go to our enemies and swap static level with minimum and maximum. In fact, I'm just going to leave static level 50 and try this first. Minimum level 50, maximum level 50. And I'm going to copy this and put it on all of them at the end. I'm under the impression that this is not going to change anything, and that map enemy level plugins is a hard overwrite to any note tags that determine what's going on here, except for like fluctuation or so. I mean, the whole setting of the level function is going to be overwritten by the extension plugin map enemy levels. But let's test that hypothesis right now. I suppose I don't need to put this on all of them. I just need to put it on one of them and test it. But I'm methodic and I want to do it this way, so I'm going to do it this way. I guess methodical is the right word for it. Let's try the dodo again, and if the dodo is still level 30, we know we have to teleport the player to a different map in order to start the battle. Fight mega bosses, ice room, what level? Level 30. Okay, Not a big deal. Let's change what happens. That stinks. Okay. Especially because I integrated it into another. I should have split it. Hindsight. I should have split the system so it wasn't all one option that you activate the event a single time and have everything, all the options at your fingertips. I mean, ultimately, that's a better system. It is better. Just harder to get the back end set up right. That's fine. Not a big deal. Is there a way to change? Hold up. Let me look at the note tags of this extension plugin again. Map enemy levels plugin. This is why I haven't done a tutorial on this one yet. I'm going to eventually. But there's still some things I'm trying to figure out. Is there a way to just like overwrite this? Oh, I'm so stupid. I know how to do this. Okay. We know we want them to be 50. This, and we know that this will override every other note tag we give our creatures. So why don't we just set the variable 40 to 50? Variable 40 being the one that I'm using on this map. Base variable 40. Why don't we just set it to 50? The other thing we think of was like, well, when you are given the option again, it would be set to 50, and is that going to be a problem? Not necessarily, because what we're going to be doing is setting, whenever the player selects an option where we would not want it to be 50, some things happen to that variable. We completely set it to the value of another variable, which would overwrite whatever we had existing, and then multiply that by 3. So I've already got the catch in place that changes it back. All I have to do now is when the player selects, even to eliminate redundancy, I don't even have to put it in every option. When I'm hiding options, after I'm hiding options or before I'm hiding options, all I have to do is set that variable to 50. I didn't need any note tags at all. I just set this variable to 50, and then, yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Where could it go wrong? I don't see anywhere it could go wrong. Famous last words. Let's just do that. Control variable. Enemy level mod, just a clear set to 50, not 540, 50. Okay. And then hide your choices, yada, yada, yada. It will always show none. When you say none, it will close the event and it will show the choices again. The variable will be set to 50, but it won't matter because whenever you select it to fight a creature where it's checking for that variable, it first plays an animation, sets that variable to the value of what you want it to be multiplied by 3. And it fixes itself every time, every option. So I think this is our option. This is our thing. Do I need to have in our enemies? Do I need to have static level 50? No. Do I need minimum level 50, maximum level 50? Absolutely not. Level fluctuation 0? Yeah, you would need that if you want to bypass any enemy levels fluctuation that you're using for the rest of the things. And since in my enemy levels plugin I'm allowing for 1 positive and 2 negative fluctuation, I do need to put fluctuation 0 if I want it to be exactly level 50, which I do. So we only need 1 of the 4 note tags on the enemies. Let's try it now. So now they should all be 50. 50. 50. William Wallace. 50. Level 50. Fight mega bosses. Uber Iceworm. 50. Ooh, much more. That's closer to what I was thinking, actually. Yep, I could tell by the numbers it was a higher level. So now it's level 50. 50. 50. Alright. So now we know we're going to lose this fight. We're level 30, it's level 50. We're completely outmatched. Let's catch up a little bit. let's get 100,000 experience, put our party at level 44 to 45, and see, do we have any chance? Do we stand any chance? Oops, I gotta pay $100. Okay, here we go. Mega bosses! We're still under leveled by a lot and probably stand no chance. No, we have no chance. We're gonna just die. Okay, let's get on level with the enemy. So that put us at 54, 55. We're fully healed. We're at level 54, 55. I don't know. Our gear is still not level 54, level 55. Our character levels are, but our gear is not. And anybody who's played an MMO and understand how item level works, just having a high level isn't enough. So we also need to bring our gear up to... But we have a few levels over. I think we're going to get owned still. Because we need that gear upgrade. But we didn't just die in one hit. Yeah, I think we have a chance. Like now, and we're only 5 levels over, we could actually beat this thing, which is the boss version of an enemy. It would be hard because of the DOT and the poison. But I see it's possible. Right, okay. So I'm not too far. I'm not too far off, right? I like it. You know what I want to do is retreat. Let's change a variable to see another one. Just like a slightly lower level maybe. Let's fight we go to debug, and I forgot what variables they are. Here we go. Let's take the weakest enemy, basically, and say we've caught 10 of them, or 11, sure. Okay, so now if we try to go regular bosses, it shows the things that we've captured. But if we say none, we go back here. If we go to here, mega bosses, it shows the Urukai, which is one we just... So this should be the weakest of all the super bosses. But he's level 50. 50. Yeah, we'll smash on him. It is balanced. It's balanced enough based around the other systems. And I really put a huge chunk of content out. There's going to be some battles that are just not balanced, and I see that for the super bosses. But I think creative players, if they're into the game enough, are going to find ways around those unbalanced obstacles. They're not mandatory to do the storyline. This is all like how far can you level your characters using the systems that are in the game. And I'll expand upon that too as more updates come out, but I've waited long enough to put an update out, and I think the game has moved into a very, very fun territory. A good spot. And I'm going to try my best to get this released tonight. So I suppose the first thing you want to do is deploy your game and then play test the deployed version, not the inside the game. Because other stuff can break too. So that's why I'm not promising that I'm going to get it, because I also, before I deploy, I need to actually give some incentive from fighting the bosses besides just a bunch of coins. You do get a lot of experience too. Experience and coins in itself is good, but I kind of want to give, like, every one of these bosses has like a, 10% chance to drop something good or something like that. Right. Okay, I don't need to save this because this is just like hacked in a bunch of... I hacked in 100 grand of experience on top of a playthrough. Okay, items. We've got that level situation figured out. No big deal. I should delete these minimum level, maximum static, but I don't want to because I don't need to. It's not going to change anything. So I'm going to leave that for now and focus instead on an item or two for each of these bosses. That's kind of... I mean, I don't know. That's 20-something items, so I got to figure out how to... what I'm going to do. Not how, but I got to figure out what I'm going to do for these 20-some items. Enchantments for gear, but I mean, you could buy that stuff with money, which you'll have plenty of. So that's not giving them anything special, actually. Fuzzy potions, or twilight potions. These are not used enough. These are not, like, used hardly at all. And I made, like, all these states. These are highly underused potions. I'm going to make these the common drop for the bosses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 16. Chilled water. Suppose that can go to one of them as the common drop. And then full tonics. 18, 19, 20. And then one more for 21. I could make a duplicate for 21. 21 could be another fuzzy. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's go to all of the bosses. Items 151 to 167 with 171 enemies. Let's take the note tag. Enemy drops. Let's copy this enemy drops. That's what it's the actual one. So let's go to the bottom. So let's go like that. Enemy drops. You know what I should do? Just use these drops. Get rid of the trash ones that they drop anyway. Yep, let's do that. I'm gonna clear all of the base items that they drop. All of them. They're gonna have their own drop table that's different. way I don't have to type all the names and stuff. All the bosses will have a should I make it guaranteed or 50%? If you make it to the end like that, you're going to have, I mean, why not just guarantee those drops? Guarantee the weaker of the three. So it'll be 100%, 10%, 1%. And those 1% drops will have to be new items. I won't put those in yet. They'll have to be new, ultra powerful items. 1% chance to get on the level 50 arena bosses. Like, that's something that 1% of the players will even ever do, I would imagine. It's like going back after you beat the game and just getting all the ultimate weapons. A lot of people do that. They want to get all the ultimate weapons and whatnot. But I think that's going to be my approach for that. You wish they used something else besides JavaScript? Like what? JavaScript is a great language for them to be using for an engine like this. I'm glad they used JS. I'm glad they didn't use Ruby again. It's too tiny for the wilderness of our creativity? I don't know, Bora. I think you could do a whole lot with JS if you just know how to use it. What are you trying to make that JS can't do? That's the question. What are you trying to make that you feel like you can't because the programming language doesn't let you do it? Let's get rid of these enemy drops here too. I don't need that stuff. Where else do we have any enemy drops? We want this just... They don't get any extra stuff over here. No, none of that. These Uber Beasts are going to have a special table of what they drop. Not all this garbage. Nope. Don't need any of that. I watched a cool video of somebody's project and how they coded a visual pathfinding algorithm and different types of algorithms in that, but the display of it was really interesting. I actually put it in Random Interesting a couple days ago. It was a good video. It was like inspiring. It was like, man, that's a nice looking project. It's like it shows how the pathfinding actually works, tile by tile, and which algorithm would be better for what situation or scenario. Anyway, let's go to the little thingies over here, and just go down methodically, not worrying about what element is what for what probability. We're going to say 1 out of 1 at this one. Guaranteed for that. 1 out of 1. That's 2. $153. 154. 155. 156. 157. 58. There we go. We've got our guaranteed drops. And I reused one of them. The Fuzzy Twilight is the first and the last. We'll have the uncommon drops, which will be 1 out of 10. I don't know what those are going to be yet. 1 out of 10. One out of 10. I mean, I award. You can get Nebuzite, Deosite, and then I award one set of Morphite. I suppose I could award Morphite gear as a 10% drop from the bosses at level 50. That would make sense. Gear and weapons. Let's do that. I mean, it makes sense. It kind of cuts into the whole mining for it, though. it's not that big of a takeaway because there are, if you are mining for it, you can get higher. You can get stronger things. I should make it Diozite at 10%. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I would have to go to weapons. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I would have to reuse each twice. That's 24. I can... Which one of them is going to get the short end, though? Probably the harp. Okay, I figured out that'll work. We'll do that. So for the 1 out of 10, we'll start with armors. Actually, we'll start with weapons. 1 out of 10 for Diozite Dagger. And the same thing right here. 1 out of 10. Diozite Dagger. And then we move on to the next one. Should I do it that way? Yeah, why not? Weapon. Diozite Sword. That's dagger, dagger, sword, sword. There's that gun. Gun, gun. Dagger, dagger, sword, sword, gun, gun. Katana. Katana. Do that staff. Mace. And then 1 harp. Okay. So then we have 8 left. We go to armor. Diozite helmet. Diozite chest. Plate gloves. Boots. Diozite shield. And then 3 more. Okay. Leech 25%. plus 25. And then, what's the 1 out of 10 for this one? Belt of Domination plus 40%. Okay, and then for the 1 out of 100 on these boss creatures, will need to be new items that I haven't created yet, and they will come out on the next update. Because I'll have to balance them and stuff. And I don't know how in-game balance is going to be 100% yet. I'll need more feedback. Okay. What else is there? To deploy it and test it. Let me do a playthrough. And what I want to do is delete all the saves except for delete, delete, delete. These are all at like different points in the game and also like just a lot different. These are like basically useless to me right now anyway. But before I deploy it, I'm just going to delete all the saves. I want to see if it actually does keep them. I'm going to keep save 22. Alright, and that should be permanent. Do I have my intro points set up? Do I have everything set up right? Oh my god. Oh my god. We gotta do the final deployment bug test. Alright. Let's do the deployment. Let's, I don't know, let's try to see what happens if we encrypt with something. I'm going to choose a new spot. FG Maker, MV. Make a new folder. Deployment. Select that folder. We're not going to exclude unused, we're just going to leave it at that. I'm going to encrypt this with, I guess I'll do it like this. Okay. I'll be right back. It says success. Okay. It distributed the thing. Okay. put it on Windows. We put it in that specific folder. So then I'm going to do another little quick test. I'm going to go to RPG Maker, deployment, and here's where it deployed it. I'm going to rename it version 1.62, like that. Let me check the version that we actually use again. Help about 1.62. Okay. And another thing I want to do, it's 1 gig. I want to add this to a zip file. So we're going to go ahead and make that a zip file. Epic Mightyina says you can just go into the /save and delete all the saves quickly. Yeah, but I wanted to save one save. There's one save I wanted in particular. So then we have our zip file. Now, this is a test that it seems redundant, but this is why we test it. We've zipped it up, right? I'm going to extract the zip file that I'm going to upload. From the start, this is what players are going to be getting. I'm going to extract this archive. Some testing now. They're going to get the zip file, then they're going to extract this. Wait, did it just put it in here? That didn't quite work right. What I'm going to do is delete the deployed version of the game. And with this zip file, I'm going to just extract the files into deployment. It's going to make the folder anew. And then we have this, yada yada, and then the IMG and everything is just, you know, it's locally encrypted. It can still be accessed, but it kept the credits, right? The change log is there. Final credits is in there. Good. Nice. All right. Swift shader. That's new. Anyway, we're going to run the game like this. I'm going to actually have to go like this, volume mixer, bring this down. Yeah, we can't have this on just because it's the way you live stream YouTube videos. Did the stream drop? We dropping frames here. Come on, stream. Be good. Do good, stream. I also forgot to record locally. That's unfortunate. It happens. So, missed... What are we doing? We basically forgot to record the stream. I'll have the last 20 minutes or so of the stream on a local. Anyway, this is our deployed version, extracted from the zip file with no save files. We hit on credits. I need to update the credits. Gosh. That doesn't even need to be there like that. There's so many other people in the credits that I have to... I mean, they're in the end credits, but that needs to be updated there, so I already know. There's at least one thing I want to change. Okay. I don't know why it's a red line now. It's very annoying. I'm holding the action button so that it goes faster. Like, when you hold the action button, the sequence happens really quick. This isn't going to be a slow playthrough. I'm going to just go through, make sure everything works right, because I'm about to deploy it. I'm going to update the credits. Let me make a note of that. Just like right here. Update credits. Last pass type of thing. I could make a text file. Why don't I just do it on the text file? It's so much faster. Okay. Temp notes. Update credits on main menu. I remember better if I read it on paper, but I lose papers too. There's a whole bunch I could do in this town, but I could just skip it too. Yep, we're just gonna skip it, see what happens. There's a whole bunch I could do here, but I could also just skip it. So we're gonna skip it. There's something I can get there. I'm just basically skipping everything. I'm just kind of... I suppose it's kind of a speed run. Oops. This guy should kick our butt since we just skipped everything. Hold on. Automatically equipped everything. He should be really hard. I suppose he's pretty weak at level 6, huh? I could make a DPS check and force him to be level 10. Like, or... yeah, I could just say it's always level 10. I mean, for bosses, it kind of makes sense. You might want to do something like that. Gosh, there's still so much I can do to make this game better. Hold enter. he should start with a stronger weapon. Maybe I should just give Arturus a better starting weapon. What does he start with? Iron sword? It makes sense he would have an iron sword. Did that auto-equip the Ancient Skull? It did. Okay. What's up, live? So that makes, I think, 5 now. So all I have to do is go up the stairs. I don't have to kill everything. You only have to kill 5 things. But the assassin will probably kill me. We'll see. I did get a couple of boxes, a couple of upgrades. Don't forget to save the game and spend your points, of course. Let the player know. Little Easter egg. Empire rations? Why does the king have empire rations? Is he siding with the enemy? We're gonna get that scale mail though. You just came back to a project that you dropped a year ago? You're gonna quote unquote finish it soon? Cool. Of course. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum. Let's just hope he doesn't bleed me and then assassinate, because assassinate does bonus damage to bleeding targets. I didn't save it. That's okay. You don't like it when you can save anywhere? I don't know. Why not? Do you like replaying parts that when you die? You still have to remember to save it. I mean, it doesn't change the fact that you can save anywhere. I've never saved it on this game yet. So if I die, I have to basically start over. But I got him, coach. Hey, we got the Firestorm Stiletto. Cool. So yada yada, you walk down. I made this work quicker now, so you can just walk right on out. I just noticed I could move in one of the last cutscenes. I wonder if you just walk off the map while the cutscene is still happening, will it? It'll still teleport you, I think. I think it should still teleport you. If not, then maybe you would have to walk up to the top area to get... I don't know, that might break the game. I might have to look at that. I don't know if you'll have enough time to reach the bottom. I guess I'll do a quick save. This tends to be where I die. Either Assassin or Lydia. I could change that animation. You know what? I could just retreat. It's not a big deal. I'll make up the lost experience later. Take this cloak though. And use these boots to the end, so if you're speedrunning, might as well grab them. Yeah, I moved it. Another optional boss coming up. We're just gonna run. Blah, blah, blah. You have no idea how many times I've read my own story. So far, so good. I mean, besides updating the credits. Gotta update the credits real quick. We're just gonna skip, like, the entire mining system for this little speed run. getting lucky. So the true test, is it possible to beat this boss skipping most of the fights? I mean, it's scaled, so the boss will be easier that we're a low level, but I'm thinking about changing that. Just making so that the boss is a set level, and if you out-level him, you smash on him, basically. He's level 11. Wow. We put the dragon to sleep. Well, probably not. Okay, well, that was good. He's still challenging even at level 11 because you're also that low level, right? Oh! I'm going to try to deploy this game today, and if I do, you'll hear about it on the Discord, and I'll probably make a video on it or something at some point. The video might not get done today, but I'm going to try to get this game deployed. I got to set up an itch page and, like, some stuff. I obviously have to redeploy it and do this whole testing process, so it may not get done today. But if not, we'll probably get it done tomorrow. That's where I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you guys for coming to the live stream. Really appreciate it. If you like what we do here, like this video, like this live stream, subscribe to the channel. If you want to show your support, I have a Patreon. You go to patreon.com/DriftwoodGaming, or the link's in the description below. Would love all of the support you can throw my way. And if you want to come hang out and talk with us, we have a Discord. So the link is also in the description below. You guys are awesome. Remember to stay awesome. You just came over here. Sorry. I mean, I stream 2 to 4. It's a little past 4. I'm gonna be on tomorrow, so it is only it's only Tuesday. I will be on tomorrow, where we can probably deploy this game tomorrow. Whew, it's getting there, guys. It's getting there. Really happy with the progress on this project. Still have some updates to do, but we're making a ton of progress, and it's almost there. So, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your day, your evening. You guys are awesome. Mwah. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Damian. Almost. Yeah, it's almost done. That's the word that, gosh, I have been saying almost for like weeks now. I'm going to show... Don't lick people's ears. Alright, I won't do it. I won't get all up close. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye. Awesome, Damian. I'm sure many of us do, Jazz. Bye-bye.